I'm going to show you what I have used in classrooms and with the kids to get us really loving books. So let's start. Everybody, we're having a meeting. Sit at the table. Sit at the table, please. Come to the table, Kylie. Now, get off your chat, whatever. Everybody come to the table. Try to find the teenagers. See, teenagers, they like to try to get out of stuff. When they're 16, they think they're all the way grown. Trying to get out of stuff. I'll handle this diaper. You go to the table, get a folder. Everybody come to the table and sit down. You're gonna need a folder. Get a folder and come back to the table, please. Any type of folder. No, it can't be a notebook. It has to be a folder where you can put things in. That's good. Okay, folder. Got something?
Is this a photo?
That's perfect. Perfect, go. Okay, I need silence now. Thank you. Now, I'm recording this right now, but don't even start to play with me, please. We're doing the same thing that we did earlier in the year. We're just recording it so other parents can learn how to make their children read. All eyes up here, please drop that pencil. We have like maybe 2 months, 8 weeks until school starts again. Some of you are going to be going to private schools. Some of you are going to be going to homeschool. Some of you are going to be, I don't know, going to public school. I really don't know. But listen up, little two, eyes over here. Regardless of what you're going to be doing, you're going to need to be back in that reading game. Kylie and Amaya, you guys have summer reading, correct? Have you done any of your summer reading? Yes. Okay, so yes and no. Show of hands, how many people have been reading consistently this summer? For example, nightly or every couple of nights. Okay, I'm about to pass out a book list. You're going to choose 5 to 15 books from this list to read. Now, if you're a younger kid, it's going to be 15. If you're an older kid, it's 5. So for 1, 2, 3, you guys need to read 5 books out of this list. But one thing I forgot to tell the older kids is that you have to respond to the reading. First, let me pass out the list. 7th and 8th grade. Who's 7th and 8th? 9 through 12. So this is the Mensa book list. Mensa for kids, excellence in reading. There you are. You can go ahead and take a look at the books that are on the list. K through 3rd graders, raise your hand, please.
K through 3rd graders?
Yes, kindergarten. If you're going into kindergarten, 1st or 2nd grade, please raise your hand. Oops, this didn't put on both sides. Yep, you're going into the 2nd grade.
Oh, this is part of it?
Oh, actually, so the actual competition for this is if once you read all of these books on the list, they send you a t-shirt, you get to be a part of like some stuff.
If you read all of them?
All of them, yeah. So there are kids who are reading every single book on this list.
Some of these books are already read, but it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. You've read which ones already?
The Odyssey, the Lord of the Flies, I'm pretty sure I read that. Scarlet Letter, what was the other one?
All right.
Things Fall Apart.
You recognize any books? You're not looking at the book list, Kai.
I just did.
So do you recognize any of the books on there?
Some of them.
All right, which one have you read already?
I
just handed you the book list, Audrey.
I watched the movie of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Not at all, sweetie. That does not count.
Oh, The Great Gatsby. I read that one.
Okay. What's that one called?
Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web. That's what I'm talking about. PK, Charlotte's Web.
Because I read it 10 times when I was sleeping. Oh no!
Okay. Red Black. You recognize any of the books, Arizo? Or have you read any of those yet?
Oh,
not
there's
yet.
stuff in the back.
Yeah, there's stuff in the back, of course. Have you read any of those so far,
I read Things
Zaya?
Fall Apart.
Okay, did you read it? Look at your face. Did you really?
I think.
Did you read it? You read it? Okay. Because you
Did I read this? No, I didn't. We have it.
Well, if I hear my cry, yeah, we do have it. PUA? Any books on that list you already read?
No, because I don't even know what
You don't what? You didn't even look up PUA? Because there are some books on that that you read. Yes.
I also read this one at the bottom.
Winnie the Pooh. Good. You know, kids, you've read a lot of those books, but you probably just don't remember, so you're going to be rereading them. Okay? Welcome to the best part of this video that you cannot see because the file got corrupted. So instead, I'm going to have to paint a picture of the magical transformation that occurred from, I really don't want to read these books, to, oh my goodness, I want to win this competition. So I made them this folder that was just full of different papers. And then I handed out the flyer for the competition. So we also did this competition in spring, and the spring winner was Azael. So I had a really funny picture of Azael eating a donut and said like last time's winner. The older kids have to read 5 books on that list. The younger kids have to read between 10 and 15 books depending on the combination they read. And in order to win, you have to read those books the fastest. So what's the big prize? What's the motivator here? The big prize is that anyone who completes the competition, who reads their books within the month period, gets to go to Universal Studios. Woo! They were super excited about that. But of course the older kids were like, oh, okay, Universal Studios. Kylie's like, well, can we bring a +1? Which is so funny and so cute. Like, it's not a wedding, Kylie, but yes, you can invite a friend because obviously they're teenagers now. It might not motivate them to go on a family trip to like a theme park, right? So you kind of have to see, like, sometimes your prize might fall short. Let them choose. Hey, what do you want? What do you want to get out of this? Now, for the big prize winner, I told them I wasn't sure yet, but it involved at least a $200 Visa gift card. And of course, the older kids were like, to where? So those are the prizes. And then they have a bunch of other prizes like candy and little games and little dollar store stuff that I'm gonna make into like a little basket so that they can visually see that is the prize for the grand prize winner. I think basically that's what happened. A lot of other cute and funny and lovable things happened. I'm so sorry about this file, but now let's get back to what happens next. I've not seen anybody's shoes. Get your own shoes. If you are not vaccinated, you will need a mask.
I'm vaccinated by the blood of Jesus.
If you're vaccinated by the blood of Jesus, then you do not need a mask. Okay. You're vaccinated by the blood of Jesus, and you're good to go. If you got your vaccination from Jesus, you're good to go. Yes?
I don't know if I am, though.
If you're vaccinated by the blood of Jesus, ask your mom. We are now getting ready to go to Barnes and Noble. The kids are all mostly packed up into the car, and I just want to go over what just happened in there in case the footage is too crazy. So basically what we do is we have these little competitions, and you don't have to have a large family to do this. You can just have 1 or 2 children, and what we do is we give them a list of books or just let them go to the library and browse books. I do set parameters. So for example, if you are 14 years old and you're on the proper reading level for your age, no, you're not allowed to read The Cat in the Hat. But I do set appropriate grade level standards. So for this competition, it's the same that we did in the winter spring session with the kids, and they're going to be racing to a certain number of books. So last time that number was a bit higher. This time I set it as 5 because it's just going to last for the month of July, and these books are on the Mensa children's book list, so they're a little bit meatier. It's not like they can just read any old graphic novel or like teen romance. But what I do is I took a look at the books. I saw that there were some really good ones on there that were interesting for the kids to read, and then I also made my own separate list because I wanted to add a little bit more diversity and give the kids a choice of some books that are not necessarily easier but are personalized for them. So that's a big thing with grades 3 and up, really, or really 2nd grade and up. But definitely when you start to get into 3rd through 12th grade, you want to choose books that have a topic that the kids like and they want to read. And I have to go by child. So I have to say, okay, what does Amaya as a 16-year-old girl want to read? What does a Kylie as a 13-year-old girl want to read? What does Zaya as a 12-year-old girl want to read? What does Ajay as a 6-year-old boy want to read? And that can vary depending on their interest. Just because I loved reading books about animals as a child doesn't mean that kids my same age want to do that. Like, if you just force, oh, I loved Charlotte's Web, here, read Charlotte's Web, they may hate animals, not care at all about it, or really not like fantasy, and so they may not like the book. So let me walk over here so I can tell you the real secret. Away from the earshot of the kids. is you kind of gotta really know the kids, whether they're your students or your own kids. You gotta know who they are. One way you could do this is just by knowing the kid. The other way is by asking them, hey, what types of things do you like to do? You don't have to say what type of books do you like to read, but what type of things do you like to do? One thing I definitely know about my 13-year-old niece is that she's starting to get into like being a young adult, being mature, liking boys, etc. So I can say, what great novels are like a love story, right? So that if I translate it for her, like she'll recognize, oh, this is a love story, this is about this, I can relate this to my own life. So something like Pride and Prejudice, even though it's a really hard read, you say, hey, this is a love story. You want to read it? You know, but I didn't start with Pride and Prejudice. I started with The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is a trilogy, and it's essentially a big love story. It's about a dystopian world, but it's also a love story, like a love triangle between the three main characters. My 16-year-old niece also likes to read like teen romances and things like that. The reason I particularly chose The Hunger Games is because it's a trilogy. So if you read the first story, which is called The Hunger Games, you want to know what happens. How does the love story end? So she had to read all 3 books of that trilogy in order to see what happened. So she was exposed to like rich, wonderful vocabulary just because she's interested in that sort of thing. My interests might not be the same as theirs, or their interests might not be as sophisticated as we would like, but that doesn't matter. Find something that they like. So now we're going to go to Barnes & Noble. They have their Mensa book list, and they're going to choose at least 1 or 2 books from Barnes & Noble to get that are on the list, but the rest we're going to get from the library. The reason why I do like taking them to Barnes & Noble as like a kickoff, so that they kind of know, oh, we're getting books, we're getting coffee, we're getting tea, we're getting little like cakes and things like that. There's actually a name for that when you're like pairing something not so fun with like a reward or something fun. Okay, like, yeah, we're going to a bookstore, but you're also going to get a coffee. Oh yeah, I do. It's The Giver. Ah, nice. Yeah, Isaiah read The Giver as a part of the first part of our competition back in the spring. So this last part is that they have to respond to the reading in some type of way, and you might not want, you probably don't want to do that for the first time you start this competition. I just say, just read it. You know, it doesn't have to be attached to something academic. Just read for pleasure, read because you want to, not because you have to write an essay about it. But for the second round, I'm kicking things up because I want them to start thinking a little bit deeper as they're headed back to school. So I'm going to allow them to respond in any way that they want, artistically, creatively, etc. And then obviously as we get closer to the school year, maybe the last week or 2 of the school year, for the older people and the younger kids, now we're going to respond by writing a 5-paragraph essay. So it's just like gradual changes. So let's go. It's hard to tell by just the name of the book what it's about. So what I was thinking is that you guys would maybe ask the people there, or look for the books yourself and kind of read like a page or 2 of them and see if you like them. So maybe you should just pull out 5 that you think you might like, flip through, and then we'll purchase 1 today. Kylie's trying to get a jump.
9.
You want to run too?
2.
You're too little. You're a little bit too little. Yes? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Whoa! A P-Way, you're going to be a sprinter. Do you guys know what books you're looking for yet? A P-Way, you know what books? All right, come on, little kids.
Charlotte's Web I am.
Charlotte's Web, you have that, but okay, come on. You haven't read it by yourself yet, so that'll be good. Come on, baby. Amazing Grace, that'll be good. That's a good one. Okay, little kids, come with me, let's go. Okay, so I'll give you a tip, especially for the older kids, like ages 3rd grade and up. 1, I never force a kid to read something that they don't want to read unless it's like an assignment, because think about yourself as a reader. If you're looking at something or watching a video and you get 10 minutes into it and you don't really like it, what do? You stop reading it and you put it away. So I tell the kids, hey, if you're reading something and you're just not feeling it, you don't have an obligation to force yourself to read that book. You don't create good readers by forcing them to read something that is boring for them or too hard for them, or for whatever reason it puts them off. It might be an awesome book, they just don't like it, right? And so I never force anybody to read anything. I teach them, hey, if you're not feeling the book, go get another one, it's okay. Dash, go see what they're doing. Go see. Go see what they're doing. Looks like Arizo has already sought help. Good job, Arizo. She's not playing. She's seeking help. What's up?
I was asking for help, but Arizo beat me. Were you guys the ones that needed help?
Yes.
Oh, it's her, but...
Yeah, she also... You also need help, right?
Yes.
Ask her. Go ahead. Yes.
Mommy.
Nice, but is that on your list? Let's see. It's just our family like reading list. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys have that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I already love you guys. Okay.
Yeah, so she has to choose 5 books, but some of them she might not know. They might be too long for her, so.
Okay,
yeah.
No, it's good to have a challenge. So
yes.
even if some of them are a little bit long.
Yeah, at the bookstores and at libraries, people are really, really helpful. So they can help a child find books that they might not like. So if you're not comfortable with it, the librarians or the people who work at the bookstore might be. Wow, you got a Pete the Cat book, but guess what? We already have this book. We have this exact book. Yeah. Let me hold on to it for you, okay? Okay, can I hold on to this for you? Or are you gonna put it back? Okay, where?
L-A.
Abuela. Abuela. Yes? Wow, you found, oh, this is really good that you found this because for kids this age, I recommend books like this for kids your age. It's a little bit crazy here, but for babies and toddlers, children like 4 and under who don't really show an interest in books yet, I love pop-up books, I love touch and feel books, things like that. Other tip that I was going to say is we always start number 1 with motivation. With kids who are not motivated, we start with really great big motivation. Listen to me. Sorry, you're going to see the real stuff now. Put back any stuffed animal. We are not here for stuffed animals. Put them back. Little kids, do not touch any book at all. When you find one of the books that you need on your list, you come to me. Is that understood? Yes. I don't want to see anybody over the age of 1 touching anything. Only the baby doesn't know better. The rest of you know better. Amazing Grace is going to be over in this section. In the picture book section. I'm gonna have to get off of here and start helping them look for books, but I just wanted to really quickly say we start out with motivation, and I even did this when I was teaching in Title I schools in the inner city. You heard me tell my nieces and nephew that whoever finished the challenge got to go to Universal Studios, and you might feel like, wow, that's a lot or that's excessive, but with reading, like, it's going to pay off. So I consider it an investment. And with my students, yeah, I would pay out of pocket. Whoever reaches this goal, we're going to go to McDonald's, we're going to go to the zoo, we're going to do some extracurricular activity that not everybody else gets to go to. And if I have to pay out of pocket, a lot of teachers do that. We pay for prizes and big motivational things out of pocket, and you don't have to keep doing it. It doesn't every time have to be something like a water park or a PlayStation or whatever, but to get them started into that, sometimes having a really big motivator is a great idea. Other things could be like, for the little kids, it would be a trip to the pool. It could be a trip to Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. It could be a trip to the park that you normally don't get up and take them to. But you know, when we're dealing with teenagers and tweens or people who find reading to be really difficult, that motivation has to be big enough for them to push through that difficulty, whether it be it's difficult because they are not good readers or it's difficult because they just don't care to read and they would rather be hanging out with their friends. So now that we've taken care of the motivational part, like all that spiel was the motivational part, this is the motivational part too, bringing them to Barnes & Noble so they can see the physical books, take a look at the covers, flip through, even if we don't get the books at the Barnes & Noble prices and we go to the library and check it out, they can at least see the books here and spend some time, go to Starbucks. So all that is part of the motivation. We only have a few minutes left in here, so I'm going to help them find the books that they want. What do you have?
Ranchers and Trip.
Is it good? Oh yeah,
I didn't really start it.
Yeah, I forgot you like mysteries. Those are really good books, though.
What's that one kind of about ancient Egypt?
Ancient Egypt? No. Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters?
Yeah.
Okay, we actually have that one at home, so choose another one. But you can read that one, it's at home.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace, good. Go ask them to find it for you. They should have it here. It should be in this section. Yes, Ajay.
I already read Put Me in the Zoo, but I want the spider one.
What spider one?
Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web? We have that at home, so you may choose another one also. You can read that at home. Mumu.
Well, I want the story of
The story of Ferdinand or the story of Barber?
the story of Ferdinand.
The story of Ferdinand. That's this one right here. Go ask them to help you find it. Yes?
Is there
What? Is there what?
like switch out a book?
Yes. What do you mean?
I mean,
Switch out a
I
book
mean,
from me? Baby! No, come here.
Change like one of these to something.
Isaiah.
Maybe. If I look at it.
Isaiah.
But probably not.
Isaiah.
Yes. Hey, what book do you want?
I want.
Blueberries for Sal. Go ask them to help you find it. Erzo, which book did you find already? Harry the Dirty Dog? Is that on this list?
Yes,
And let me see. The 100 Dresses. Awesome. Just to let you know, for chapter books, an adult can read it to you. Okay? We already have Charlotte's Web, but it does count for the little kids if the adult reads you the chapter books. Let's go. They're closing early. We just barely made it. Luckily, we got a lot of help from the people in the store. And everybody got their books.
Like I go this way, somebody else goes that way.
Yep, okay. Yep. What'd you get, boy?
First I was gonna get that one, but I couldn't find it, so I got this one.
All right, cool. Go ahead. What'd you get? Cool. What'd you get? Can I see the front? Abuela. All right, go ahead. Yes. To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay. Yes. What is it? Ah, Sherlock Holmes. Ma'am, what'd you get? Okay, showing us. What'd you get?
The trial and something else I forgot.
Top Everlasting. It's gonna be good. I love this book. Here. All right, what'd you get? You don't want to show us? The story of...
39, a good girl.
Okay, let's go. We're on 1,000 level energy today, everybody. You can hear the fireworks are starting, so they were closing early. Ready? Are you happy with your book selection?
Yes.
Good.
No.
All right.
Does it
Who
count?
thinks you're gonna win for real? Who for real thinks you're gonna win?
Mommy.
Who thinks you're gonna at least get the trip, if not win? I know I'm gonna get the trip. Yes?
Does it count if you read it in the car, or do you have to read it tomorrow, or do you
Nope,
have
you
to
can read
it
anytime. Anytime you want. You can start right now.
I don't know how to read this book.
But guess what? An adult can read it to you and that counts. Oh yes. So you need an adult to read you 15 books.
Oh, we're going to Mommy.
Only for Audrey. Everyone else can read. Yeah, so we're at Starbucks. We're just going to do the mobile order. We're going to do the kids hot chocolate. I guess we can keep all that type of milk. I changed it to warm. People have been reading. Maybe we're a little bit tired of reading. We're getting a little antsy. We are picking up our Starbucks order right now, and so we're going to drive home, and that's it. On the way back, we'll be listening to Adventures in Odyssey. This one is called Finish What You... A talking portrait of Frederick Douglass tells Olivia Parker the story of the famous Jubilee Singers of Fisk University. Okay, so they put some little Black history and Adventures in Odyssey. A little evangelism, trying to become modern a little bit. I mean, over the years, they've gotten more diverse, I would say. They don't always give a 100% accurate view of history, in my opinion. But it's mostly alright. So that's it. That's our competition. So check back in a month and we'll see who won the competition. We're gonna pass out our alcohol wipes, 75%. I feel like it should be more. And I will check in with you guys in 30 days and we'll find out who won the competition. But in the meantime, watch the rest of my videos that are more educational in terms of specifically how to teach kids to read.